Hello everyone and welcome back to Jurassic World Australia in Jurassic World Evolution. In today's episode we're going to be building a nocturnal slash indoor exhibit for our nighttime goals, and as you can see I'm using the monorail tracks for that to create a roof structure. This is one of my favorite tricks to use in the game to create sort of a larger structure, I suppose you could say. I used it to build quote-unquote malls and other indoor enclosures, and since we're dealing with a shaded area, I figured it would be a kind of cool idea to go nocturnal with it. You know, you have those nocturnal houses in pretty much every zoo where they keep the bats and whatnot, and I thought it would be cool to bring that into Jurassic World Australia. Now, thanks to the what's it called? The Ultimate Mix Eras mod, the best mod out there so far. Well, one of the best. By Kaodenic, it allows us to place things much closer together. So as you can see over here, the tracks are super, super close to each other, which allows a more dense roof structure. Normally the space between the tracks would be much greater. But yeah, we can put them much closer now thanks to this mod, which gets rid of the hitboxes. So you can see I built this roof structure. I added a little bit of flair at the end where I deleted some sections just so the arches would show up. Because one of the things about placing the tracks this close together is that the arches don't show. They don't automatically generate. And that actually helps because this way there aren't a ton of arches in the way in your exhibits. But, you know, for the aesthetics, I did want to have some arches for paths to go through later. So that's why I did that. And right now I'm just using the terrain mod, one of the other best mods out there. This actually comes with the Ultimate Mix Eras mod, by the way. But it allows me to create a wall that encompasses the entire indoor enclosure to really make it feel like it is an indoor structure. So right now I'm just adding path, doing my path thing as I do. Yeah, well, it is my thing. And, oh, right, here we go. We have the TROODON in the game right now, but these are the Jurassic Park the Game TROODON. I downloaded that mod because, well, these are the perfect nocturnal dinosaurs, of course. I didn't really know which types of dinosaurs I wanted to add in this nocturnal enclosure. So I just threw it out there on Twitter asking you guys for ideas, and I got a lot of responses, and TROODON was very popular, and someone suggested getting the Jurassic Park the Game mod for it, which I thought was a really cool idea. And other people suggested Dilophosaurus because it's nocturnal, or it has advantages at nighttime in the Isle, which is one of the other dinosaur games that I play. The Indoraptor made an appearance, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. I think that's very fitting, sort of a nighttime stalker. And Dryosaurus, with the logic behind it being, you know, they also have big eyes, so you might be able to sort of claim that they are adjusted to lower light settings. Now, by the way, as you can tell, I am recording the narration after the fact. I tried this out in the last video, and most people do prefer if I just talk while building. It is more natural, but, you know, because of my situation at home dealing with a sick pet, this was just easier for me. I built this, like, late at night whenever I wanted to, whenever I felt like it. And now I'm just sitting down to record some voiceover for you all. But we will go back, you know, when things return to normal, I will go back to just building and talking while building. But because of the situation, I had to solve it like this and do a narration after the fact. So at the start of this indoor building, I'm doing like a little guest section because, you know, people gotta eat and poop. Did I place a toilet? Yes, I did place a toilet. I actually placed a toilet all the way in the back. Hopefully that'll encourage people to go there because I do want them to go into the building, essentially. There's only really one viewing gallery inside the building. You did see me place 2 viewing towers earlier at the opposite end, which sort of look down into the building. Those were, you know, just fun ways to add to the structure, really. But in terms of what's inside the enclosure, the building, quote unquote, it's just the one viewing gallery. So I'm still playing with path as I do. The path's going crazy, by the way. It's going mental. By the way, I did really enjoy everyone's suggestions that I got on Twitter, as I said, so thank you so much for helping me out picking dinosaurs for this exhibit. And yeah, maybe that's something we'll keep doing in the future. I don't want to hassle y'all on YouTube with like a whole community post about stuff, but this feels like a good way to use Twitter. You know, it's like the worst place to be on the internet, but you know, my Twitter is safe. Okay, it's safe. You'll get some salty comments now and then, now and again. English, it's difficult, especially when you're functioning on too little sleep. Anyway, I'm just getting started on the enclosures. We have a total of 4. So like I said, Dryosaurus, TROODON, Indoraptor, and Dilophosaurus. I felt like those were kind of cool. And I really like the idea of adding the Dryosaurus as well, just to have a herbivore in there so it's not all carnivorous dinosaurs. And yeah, great suggestions from you guys. I was gonna do Dilophosaurus. I didn't really think of the owl connection where, you know, their night vision is much better than other dinosaurs, which makes them sort of nocturnal, you could say. I didn't really think about that. I don't really know. Maybe I sort of, yeah, I don't know. They just have a dark aesthetic, I suppose. This is the one viewing gallery. As I mentioned, this is going to be looking into our Dilophosaurus exhibit. In hindsight, what I think I should have done, you'll see I'm placing the viewing gallery at the start of the building. You know, it's right at the guest section, is really close to the entry point. I think it would have been better if I placed it in the back to really encourage people to go back here. At the moment, what I did is I just placed a toilet there at the end of a path. I don't think that's enough to really draw a lot of guests there, but I hope we'll get at least some guest traffic back here. But yeah, if you want to do something like this, which, you know, I hope that you do get some inspiration from watching my videos. If you want to build something like this, I would actually recommend, you know, hindsight 2020, that you place the viewing gallery in the back to really ensure that more people, more traffic streams into the building and all the way to the back, so it just feels like it's being used properly. Now what I'm doing right here is I'm just filling in the path. I'm not doing too much with path art, really. I did a lot of path art at the beginning in the first episode of Jurassic World Australia, which you saw, you know, the Aboriginal inspired artwork. I'm not doing too much throughout the rest of the park, just little, you know, color contrasts and stuff like that. I'm keeping it simple, keeping it low key. I'm not doing like a compass or some BS like that. Sort of keeping it mostly realistic, I'd say. Most theme parks and zoos and stuff, they don't design their path to look like something when seen from, I don't know, outer space. So that's sort of the approach. So yeah, right now I'm just placing a bathroom all the way in the back. It was a nice way to fill up this teeny tiny bit of space back here. So what I really like doing with fencing is sort of create windows, quote unquote, in the fence. You know, if you go to a zoo, there are certain points where you can view into an exhibit, into an enclosure. You can't necessarily, you know, do a 360 of the exhibit. Usually there are like little staged moments where you can look into the exhibit. So that's what I really love doing with this heavy steel fence. It is modified. This is the Better Fences mod by Mr. TROODON. I really like using the combination of a fence that you can't see through in combination with a wire fencing, and that wire fencing mimics the window, and it really directs your guests to look into the exhibit from that point, sort of mimicking the function of a viewing gallery. Of course, it doesn't work that way in Jurassic World Evolution. Our guests are stupid, they're blind. I don't know what they're doing with their lives that they can't see a dinosaur right in front of their face, but you know, we accept them. But yeah, it doesn't work like that in the game, but in real life it would, so I sort of model it after that. And speaking of how it works in the game, let's just hope that it does work that way in Jurassic World Evolution 2, that we do get visibility on the path itself. It would just be, like I said, much more realistic. it would negate the need for all of these big viewing galleries. I do see the purpose of the viewing galleries. Definitely, I see the management aspect of it. You know, you need to balance the amount of power you have, the space you have available. Right now, with the territory system, you have to ensure that your viewing gallery overlooks a section where your dinosaurs actually like to be. So I get their function and the mechanic behind it, but I think it would be a better idea if, yes, there would be path visibility, but let's say path visibility is really low. Because, you know, you're always going to have wires and bars and, you know, fencing in the way, obstructing the view. So, you know, yes, they can see the dinosaurs, but they would more optimally enjoy looking at the dinosaurs from a viewing gallery. So, viewing galleries still really attract guests to them, and they still have a. They still serve a purpose. They still have a need. I think, and I hope that would be a good solution. I hope that's something that we're going to see in Jurassic World Evolution. So what I did here is I just left a bit of path open. I didn't want it fully paved or fully wooded. In this case, I'm using a wooden path mod. I just left a little bit of open space, of open nature. Nature gotta nature. Just really breaks up the area. It's really a shame that lights only go on at night and that the lights you can just turn them on. I'm not using any lights in this building right now because there's really no point to them. They don't turn on. Um, that's really a shame because it is quite dark in here. I'm sorry about that. This is a really dark episode, not in the metaphorical sense, but in the literal sense. It's pretty shady in here. I do hope that you're enjoying the episode in spite of that, and I hope, yeah, like I said, that you'll get some inspiration from it. I've been doing these monorail malls, that's what I always call them. I've been doing them for a while. I also have done tutorials on them, which you can find on the channel. Of course, it works a tiny bit differently now if you also have the Ultimate Mix Eras mod, which gets rid of the hitboxes. But, you know, you can, aside from getting them closer together, it works kind of the same way. And I just think it's, you know, the necessary steps we have to go through in this game to you know, exercise our creative muscle a little bit. I know that a lot of people are really not a fan of it. I've actually recently seen a comment about it on Reddit where people were like, this is so stupid. Um, more, more really as a dig on the game. You know, it's stupid that it's necessary, but yes, it is kind of stupid that it's necessary. But I've been saying this from the start, actually. What I really like and still like about Jurassic World Evolution, on one hand, it's just easy. Let's be honest, it's just easy. If you have an hour to kill, you can make something nice in Jurassic World Evolution. Not so much in, for example, a game like Prehistoric Kingdom. You need 6 hours to make something really awesome. Yes, you can make something really awesome, but it's such a huge investment of time. And Jurassic World Evolution just has such a low threshold. So I'm actually relieved that they didn't bring modular building into Jurassic World Evolution 2. But what I also like about this game is that it does challenge your creativity. A lot of people are always saying, oh, you can't be creative in Jurassic World Evolution. You can only be creative in a game like Prehistoric Kingdom, like Planet Zoo, like Planet Coaster. And I think that's a totally twisted take on creativity. Creativity is not limited by the tools you have. In fact, it's kind of a cool challenge to your creativity to do stuff without a lot of these tools. I think I mentioned this before, but it might have been during a live stream. By the way, you should join live streams when they happen. They're fun, they're cool, we talk in the chat. But shameless plug. But I did mention this at one point. I think it was during a live stream. I actually applied to an art academy, and it's not really an audition. What do you call it when it's not an audition? A tryout? No, that's for sports. I don't know, but they have you come in and they sort of test you to see if you're art academy material. So I did that. And, you know, they don't set you down with high quality paints and 25 different kinds of brushes and your pick of a canvas. No, what they did was they set me down in an empty room with a literal box of scraps. Scrap cardboard, scrap paper, little stubs of pencil, you know, the tiniest little leftover bits of crayon. And the assignment was, okay, you have this garbage, make something with that. And that's the assignment. That's how they test creativity. And that really sort of, it's hard to form words. But that really shaped my outlook on creativity, I guess. Like, yeah, creative people can make beautiful artworks when they have all of the paints and all of the brushes and the right types of clay and sculpture tools and whatnot. Yes, that is also creativity. But it's also being creative when you just don't have the excessive amount of tools. You just have 3 colors. You have the 3 primary colors. Make something with that. And I think that's just a really fun take on creativity. And I think that's exactly what Jurassic World Evolution does. You know, it's hard to explain. I'm rambling. I'm just filling the time at this point, as you can tell. But yeah, I think that's the strength of Jurassic World Evolution. It's easy and it's just a fun challenge. And yes, mods add more tools to that, but in essence, you know, we still just have the monorail tracks to build with. You know, I think you know what I'm talking about. What was I don't know. I'm just rambling. I'm literally rambling at this point. How much longer? I don't know, guys. I don't know. As I said, I have a sick pet, so I'm not sleeping much at the moment. A lot of concerns, a lot of worries. She's doing a little bit better. If you don't know, my bunny Winnie was she had surgery last week. She was neutered. That is very important for rabbits, especially for female rabbits, because they have a really high chance of developing uterine cancer later on in life. It's like 80% chance after like 4 or 5 years, and hopefully she'll live to be 10, 11, 12, maybe even older than that. So yeah, it is important to have rabbits neutered. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's the anesthesia that took a toll on her, or if it was the pain, or if it was the stress. But since then, she hasn't really been eating. She ate a little bit last night or the night before and yesterday. A little bit of veggie, just a little bit. But other than that, she's just relying on me force feeding her and giving her medicine. So as you can imagine, I'm very stressed out and tired, but I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that she's going to be okay. I went through something kind of similar with my other rabbit. He also had to go to the vet. He also got stressed out, or I don't know what happened, but he also refused to eat after that. And it took like a month and a half or 2 months to literally nurse him back to health. So I think that's the route that I'm walking with Winnie right now, but as long as it works, it's totally worth it. But as I said in my community post last Saturday, which was also the announcement that streams aren't happening as long as my rabbit is sick and I have to take care of her because, you know, she has to get her medicine and her food at certain times, so it's just difficult to balance that with live streams and such. But yeah, it also affects the videos I'm making because I'm tired. And yeah, you know, pets go first. That's all I can really say about it, I guess. Pets go first, so I really appreciate all of the really kind and supportive comments I got on that community post and all of the well wishes for Winnie. I really hope that they're going to help. And I'm just gonna keep stubbornly feeding her and giving her medicine and just keeping my fingers crossed that it is going to work. But I really appreciate everyone's kind comments. And yeah, just you guys being supportive. That really, really means a lot to me. And I'm doing my best to keep up with the content as much as possible in the meantime. But like this video, they're gonna be a little bit weird. they're gonna not have the same amount of effort put into them as you've gotten used to from me, or as I hope you've gotten used to from me, because I do genuinely and generally put quite a bit of effort in my videos, but I just have to prioritize my rabbit right now. If you don't care about this stuff, I'm so sorry about boring you, but I literally have nothing else to talk about. That's my life right now, feeding a rabbit. um, yeah, but she's really sweet. She's doing, she's taking it very well. She's not doing well, but she's taking it very well. She's very sweet. So I'm really hoping she's going to be okay. And I just want to say thank you guys for understanding. I guess that's what it all came down to. Can you tell I'm rambling? I am definitely still rambling. It's it's gonna be a mental process to get me to upload this video because I'm not doing a bang-up job right now. I'm very distracted. I'm very distracted. Oh, I was saying I am going to try to keep up with like all of the content. So, you know, if there's gonna be a species field guide tomorrow, I will be covering it, but you know, it's just going to be less edited, less polished. It's gonna be me rambling like this, so strap yourself in, boys. It is what it is right now. Yeah, speaking of that species field guide, I am really curious to see which way they're gonna go. A lot of people are very much convinced that it's going to be another flying reptile. I'm not so sure. It could be. They could very well do it. But then eventually they have to break their pattern of old dinosaur, new dinosaur, old dinosaur, new dinosaur. Like, yes, for example, they could do the Quetzalcoatlus. I never know how to pronounce things. They could do that tomorrow, but then next week we don't have a flying reptile. Another flying reptile that was in Jurassic World Evolution 1, so they'd have to break from pattern. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be really interesting to see which way they go. Are they going to stick to the pattern? Or are we really going to get just multiple flying reptiles now and then multiple marine reptiles after that? I'm really curious to see how they're going to approach this. By the way, in the background... God, I hope you muted this video and just put on your own music. I should probably edit that in at the start of the video. But as you can see in the background, I'm just decorating the exhibits. What you're looking at right now is the TROODON exhibit. Here you go, we're having a look down into it. To the left of the TROODON exhibit, that's where we're going to put the Indoraptor. And to the right is where we're going to put the Dryosaurus. And as I already said, the viewing gallery looks out over the Dilophosaurus exhibit. Just adding some rocks, having a look around. I always check how things look like. What things look like from, you know, the viewing points for the guests. And the literal attractions, so the viewing gallery and the viewing platforms. So this is the Dryosaurus exhibit. I was getting kind of tired at this point, so this one is kind of hastily done. Just a mixture of foliage, obviously water. All living things appreciate, you know, some quantity of water. Feeder, a rock, a log, stuff like that. But, you know, not too much anymore at this point. By the way, I did make a bit of a rookie mistake when I made this nocturnal exhibit. What I did, and what you saw at the start of the video, was I started with building the entire roof structure to get the dinosaurs in, because dinosaurs are airlifted in. As you can imagine, you can't do that when you've completed your roof. Oh god, the video just ended. You can't do that if you've covered your entire roof, if you've built your entire roof. So what you might actually need to do is do the roof last. What I did was I deleted part of the roof and then just drop them in like that. But it is a little bit of double work, I suppose you could say. I'm very sorry about this weird episode, but I hope you got some inspiration from it anyway for your own builds. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll tune in next time. Leave a comment down below if you're gonna build a nocturnal exhibit of your own in Jurassic World Evolution. Leave a like if you somehow, some way, some shape, some form did enjoy this video. And yeah, just don't unsubscribe, please. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the game.